Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Hi, Jeanette. Hi, Harry. I think I saw Sam earlier. Shmuel, are you on? Hi, Jeremy. Good morning and Shavua Tov and good week to everyone. We'll give it a few minutes and we will begin and we'll start. If anyone has any comments, please, by all means. Also, if anyone knows how the chat works, that in a way that it should go down on its own without me having to click every time, please, if you could guide us here, would be appreciated as well. Hi, Shmuel. Hi, Eugenia. That we'll deal with it to the best of our ability. Hi, Sabrina. Good morning. But something is not working for me. No. We're using today an update in this Facebook or something, and I'm also in a different place, so it's a different setting, so you'll have to put up with me. But God willing, things will work. Is Brachi on? You said hello, Brachi. Don't miss Chabad. Chabad is here. We are together. But if you miss the building, yes, I agree. Being together, I agree with you. Thank you, Jeanette. It's good to be seen and to be heard. Maybe one day soon, maybe we'll have it in a Zoom as well, so I could hear you guys as well. Because it's a little hard to give a class like this and look at myself in a mirror. Not always very pleasant, but it's going to work. So I wish I would know how to set it up here, that when new comments are coming in, that it scrolls down on its own without me having to scroll down every time. But maybe it will happen. Okay, we'll give it another minute and then we will begin. Shmuel, are you on? Shmuel Gutman. I know Shmuel Virin is on. Sam, are you on? Why do it in a different... I don't know where yet. Okay. Hi, Jennifer. Oh, Sam, good to see you. It was difficult to find me. I guess Yagata umatzata. If you search and you find, then ta'amin, then believe it. I don't know what was so difficult to find me, but I'm glad I was found. And Sabrina, Zoom will always be a good thing. Once there is an expression in the Torah, ma'alin bakodesh velo moridin. You augment in holiness, in sanctity, and you don't go down. So now that Baruch Hashem, we were forced into Zoom and all kinds of things and this technology, then it's only going to get better. So even when we go back and we have a class in person, which is obviously the best, nonetheless, Zoom and Facebook will continue as it is reaching out to many, many more people, and it's recorded and it's live and it's good. Thank you, Brachi, and thank you, Jennifer. So today's class is going to be about: is it easy to find someone else when we're sitting home, or is it hard to find someone else when we're sitting home? Is it easy to find someone else when we are outside, when we are about and out, or is it difficult to find someone else when we're outside? Is it easy to find oneself when we're outside and in the crazy world, or is it easy to find oneself? And the same is with so basically finding oneself and finding the other, and finding the rabbi and finding the other person. That's what the class is going to be about today, and in all circumstances. Hi, Carrie from High River. So good morning, and this morning's class is dedicated by the Gottman family, Sam and Linda Gottman, in memory of Sam's mother, Esther Bas Eliezer, whose yahrzeit is today, and may she rest in peace, and may she be a good advocate for a good life to your family, and to the children, grandchildren, great grandchildren, for a good and healthy life, and to all of us. Learning Torah on a day of a yahrzeit is, to a certain extent, and in reality, even more important, and thus accomplishes much more than even the saying of Kaddish. So while today the saying and the recital of Kaddish is very limited, if possible, at all, depends on the communities, on where one finds oneself. But the learning Torah and Mishnah, which we're going to learn today as well, is the best thing that could be done for the soul, especially when it's followed with an act of goodness and kindness, an act of tzedakah. And actually, I don't want to go on it now in length, but the entire Kaddish was established, the source of the Kaddish was established for children who could not learn. But originally and primarily, one needs to learn Torah on a day of a yahrzeit in memory and on behalf of anyone. And we are going to establish for the time being, a system that people who have yahrzeits and so on, we should be able to make a special class on Zoom with the loved ones and prayers, and there will be dedications possible. But we will get to it. First, right now we're involved and putting the energy on food, on feeding people, on feeding the community, which is most important, obviously. As the famous saying that Chabad is known to bring people closer to Judaism and to each other, more than through prayers and learning, through chicken soup and cholent. So that's what we're busy with now. And as soon as this gets off the ground and we get a handle on it, and we will expand and establish more classes and programs online. Again, today's class is in memory of Esther Bas Eliezer. Thank you, Sam and Linda. So the title of today's welcome everyone and good morning. And if I missed welcoming someone, please forgive me because I do welcome you. And Rosie and Carrie, I think I did welcome. So, and many of you I don't see as you are watching through the Chabad page and not through Facebook. So I don't necessarily see you, but welcome everyone. And please, any comments or any questions that come up, please type them up. And Baruch Hashem, it started working by me that it scrolls down, and new comments that are coming on the chat list is scrolling down on its own. Baruch Hashem, Baruch Shecheyanu. So today's class is about Midat HaTiferet, about the attribute of beauty, glory, which is the third of the 7 attributes which Torah, Kabbalah, Hasidus philosophy elaborates on in length. Tanya, we learned about it a little bit in chapter 3. There is in chapter 46, I think 45 or 46, there is an elaboration on that as well. And we're going to touch upon it with keeping in mind a lesson that we want to learn from it, how we could deal with today, with the challenges of today, or how could we make our days better, brighter, and more beautiful and glorious. So let me throw a few points, and please, if you have pen and paper, or you have a computer so you could type notes, type those up, because it's going to come to use, and it's going to be helpful, and it's going to come together. Tiferet. Tiferet in Hebrew means beauty, glory, and we could translate it in many more words. At the same time, Tiferet, there is a medrash. A medrash is a commentary in the Talmud that says, Tiferet zu matan Torah. Beauty is the giving of the Torah at Mount Sinai. So the Torah is beautiful. At the same time, we learned yesterday in chapter 2 of Pirkei Avot, of Ethics of Our Fathers, which I mentioned in the message that was broadcast before Shabbos on Friday. Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi, Rabbi Yehuda the leader, says, Eizohi derech yeshoro sheyover le'odam, which is the right path that a person should choose for oneself, that the Odam should choose for oneself. He gives the answer, Kol shehi tiferet leoseha, whatever is beautiful for the one who makes it, who does it, v'tiferet lo min ha'adam, and it is beautiful for him, her, from the fellow, from the Adam, from another person. In other words, what the Mishnah is teaching us, what is beautiful if it's good for me and good for the other. In other words, if it's good only for me, then it's not good. It's not beautiful. If it's good only for the other, again, it's not good, beautiful. It has to be amalgamation. It has to be made up of beautiful for both. for the one who does it and for the recipient for another person. What does that mean? So does that mean that if I sit home and I learn Torah and I spend time with my children, with my family, and I'm not involved with reaching out to others, does that mean that it's not good? Does that mean that it's not beautiful? And the same question is when I go out and I reach out to a neighbor, to another person, and I leave behind for a few minutes, for an hour, for two, for the day time, and go spend time with others, doing an act of chesed to another person, does that mean that it's not beautiful because my child, my wife, my husband, my parent misses me? How does that work? What does that mean? So we'll come back to it. And soon it will make sense. Many of you, of us, have come across this kind of chart where there is the right, the left, and the middle. Right, left, middle. Right, left, middle. It's the chart of the Eser Sfirot of the 10 manifestations with which the world was created, and it is the chart of the 7 attributes with which the world was created, the way we are built, the human being is built, and the way our emotions work, and how we need to deal with life. Hi, Loredana. It's important to know that because the same way that when you take a bottle of juice, bottle of whatever, any can, any food, you want to read the ingredients, how many calories and iron and what is in there and so on, because the more you know, the more you could help yourself with better nutrition. So is also with our lives. The more we know how we are built and what is the drives that are making up our day, the better we will be able to get a handle on it and to have a good day and a good life. So the 3 dots, right, left, and middle, I'll mention a few things, and again, take notes. I encourage you to take notes because it will come back together, and that's what I did when I prepared the class. Are 3 patriarchs: Avraham on the right, Yitzchak, Isaac on the left, Yaakov, Jacob in the middle. The 7 attributes: kindness, love, chesed on the right, gevura, discipline, severity, strictness, fear, awe on the left, tiferes, beauty, glory, truth in the middle. Now I just added the word truth. Keep it in mind. Al shlosha dvarim ha'olam omed. It says in Pirkei Avot, the world stands on 3 things: Torah, Avodah, and Gmilut Chasadim. Torah, study of Torah, that's the middle. Avodah, prayer, left, prayer, left, part of gvura, part of severity and discipline, gemilut chasadim, right, acts of loving kindness, tzedakah, chesed is on the right. There is a verse in the Torah in relation to the building, to the construction of the Mishkan, of the tabernacle, that the tabernacle, the walls of the Mishkan were built with beams that were standing beams, one next to each other. And the way they were holding is there were sticks on the outside holding them together. And then the Torah says that those beams, there was habriach hatichon betoch hakrashim mavriach min hakatze el hakatze. There was a middle stick that was penetrating through those beams inside. So inside the beams there was a hole that was drilled equally, and a briach hatichon betoch hakrashim, the middle stick that is from one corner to the other, all the way through, a long one, all the 20 amah of the side, of the one side of the Mishkan. That was the pillar that was holding it together. Our sages, Hasidus elaborates that spiritually, this briach hatichon, this middle beam, this middle stick that holds it together, the pillar, is midat ha'emet, is the attribute of truth. The truth that is holding everything from beginning to end. The word emes, those of you who speak Hebrew and know the order of the Aleph base, Aleph is the first letter, Taf is the last letter of the Aleph base, Mem is the middle letter, and that makes up the word emes, truth. Beginning, middle, and end, all one. There is a famous commentary that says that if you take out one of the letters from the word emes, you're left either with im. If you take out the taf from the end, you're left with im. Im in Hebrew means if. If means questions, unknown, doubt, uncertainty. And if you take out the first one, the Aleph, the first letter, what are we left with? Met. Death. Emes, truth, is beginning, middle, and end. We could elaborate on this in length, but very briefly, one more point. When we go up to the Torah, when we get an Aliyah, we say the blessing, Asher nosan lonu Torat emes, the blessing after the Aliyah. Hashem who has given us the Torat emet, the Torah of truth, v'chaye olam nota b'sechenu, an everlasting life he has implanted in us. What does that mean? Even when one experiences death, God forbid, and may everyone have a refuah shlema, a complete recovery who needs it, and may God grant to all of us a good, healthy, long life. But nonetheless, we are connected. The Torah connects the here and the there and the here, the before and the after, in a way of Chaya Elam, everlasting life. Why? Because it's emes, it's true. Truth is from beginning to end and through all circumstances. And this is beauty. This is Tiferes. This is what the giving of the Torah at Mount Sinai has given to the world. Truth that is not a if, that is undoubtful, that doesn't change with the weather and with circumstances of the world, but was, is, and will be. Haya hoveh v'yiyeh. And that's why Hashem emet v'torato emet. Hashem is true and His Torah is true, because that's everlasting. So, what does that mean? How do we translate, how do we explain all this on a more practical level? And what is the connection between love on the right, left on the fear and discipline on the left, and truth and beauty in the middle? How does all this come together? So, to be brief, and those of us who have attended Tanya before will, and this particular subject, will appreciate what we're learning now a little bit more. But I'll try to make it as clear as I can to everyone today. And please, again, if there are any questions, any comments, please don't hesitate. Keep them coming my way. Share them. The world was created in 7 days. 6 days of the week, followed by the day of Shabbos. First day of the week is the chesed, is the right, kindness. Vayomer Elokim yehi or vayhi or. God said, let there be light, and there was light. Olam chesed yibaneh. The world was created with kindness, giving, creating, expanding. God created the world. Second day was the split between the upper worlds and the lower worlds, upper realms and lower realms. Third day was creation of the earth, giving out grass, a beautiful world, trees. Where on the second day, the water split. On the third day, the beauty that was hidden in the splitting of the waters came out, and was growth, gardens, a beautiful world. Our sages tell us and point out to a point that when we read, we go over the 6 days of creation. On the first day, it says, Vayar Elokim Kitov, Hashem saw it was good. On the second day, it doesn't say it was good, because it was a split. It wasn't good. Didn't seem good. Seemed bad. Split. Machloket. Division. Separation. On the third day, Shehuchpal bo kitov. On the third day, it says that God has seen that it was good twice. And the same thing repeats itself on Friday, on the second round of 3. So every third day, the word kitov is double, twice good. Our sages explain, the Rabbi elaborates on it a lot. Tov la shamayim vetov la briot. Good for heavens and good for the people. Good for all. Again, let's remember what we learned in the Mishnah earlier. Whatever is beautiful to the one who makes it and beautiful to the fellow, that's beauty. Double beauty. So famous example given on it is the famous rabbi's sermon or words to a bride and groom under the chuppah. We have a beautiful groom, beautiful bride, who are about to unite and get married. In the language of the Torah, the groom, the husband, is called Ish, and the bride, the wife, is called Isha. Both words, Ish and Isha, are made up from 2 letters that are very similar to each other. The 2 letters that are equal in both are the letters Aleph and Shin. Esh. What does Esh mean? I'll let someone answer. That way I'll know that someone is up. And then the letters that differ between Ish, the man, and Isha, the woman, is Yud in the word Ish and Hey in the word Isha. No one? Hello? Anyone? What is, oh yeah, good. Thank you, Sam. So Esh means fire. In Hebrew, Esh. Friday, in Motzei Shabbat, when we do Havdalah, Borei Meorei HaEsh, we say the blessing over the Havdalah candle, the one who created fire. Ish and Isha, both are fires. Real fires. And dangerous for 2 fires to come together. It's really dangerous. And could be devastating. Then comes in the Yud and the Hey, which is God's name, and that makes that it should be a Ish and Isha, a husband and wife, that will create a home with beauty and with harmony, and not be a fire against each other. And that's why our sages say, Ish ve'isha zachu shchina shruya benehem. When God is between, in the middle of the Ish and the Isha, God is amongst them and they will have a good life. So the Yud and the Hey, God is the Torah, is the Beriah Hatichon, the middle pillar that holds it together from falling apart, and that combines 2 forces that might be opposite to each other otherwise. Janet, Yud Hey remains from Aleph and Shin. The Yud is in the Ish and the Hey is in the Isha. So Hashem is between men and women to keep peace in their unity. Exactly. So the B'riach HaTichon is the middle beam that keeps it together, is in a beautiful way that brings beauty to a home, is God, Hashem. And this is basically the third day, the third entity that is being created by two coming together, two opposite forces coming together. And those two opposite forces are not only the husband and the wife, but each one of us has those two drives within us that are in a constant battle with each other on the one hand, and on the other hand that complement each other. And those are chesed and gevurah. The first attribute on the right, which is giving, kindness, openness, love, no limits, and gevurah, severity, discipline, holding back, fear, and so on. Limitations. Those two, the plus and the minus, like in everything else in the world, electricity and so on, the plus and the minus, breathing in, breathing out, this is chesed and gvura. If I may simplify it, on the one hand, I all the time want to give and give and give and give to someone else, but I need to go to sleep also. I need to eat as well. I need to take care of myself. I need to daven myself. I need to learn myself. I need to take care of my own physical and spiritual needs. On the other hand, I need to take care of myself, but if I am to myself, what am I? I need to give. What is the B'riach HaTichon? What is the middle pillar that keeps it together? Tiferet, beauty. Let's go back now to the teaching of Rabbi in Mishnah, in Pirkei Avot. Ezohi derech yeshara sheyavor lo ha'adam. Which is a good path that a person should choose for oneself? Whatever is beautiful for both. Not only for myself, not only for the other, but has to be beautiful for both. Does that mean that I need to be occupied all the time in giving to others? Does that mean that my entire earnings I have to give to others and not keep anything for myself? Does that mean that I need to keep everything for myself and not to give to others? No. There has to be a middle ground. Middle ground doesn't mean a little bit here, a little bit there. It's not only that. Middle ground means כל שהיא תפארת לעושיה ותפארת לו מן האדם. So I'll ask another question. Baruch Hashem, today we live in a good world. There is no Sdom. There, everyone is perfect. Everyone means well. Amen. But let's imagine, in our wildest imagination, that one finds oneself in Sdom and Amorah, place that is corrupted, messed up. No charity, no kindness. So Avraham Avinu, who is the attribute of kindness, lives in Sodom. What should he do? He should do what is accepted in society. Society doesn't want him to be righteous. Society wants him to be selfish. Society wants him to murder. So he should murder? No. Vetiferet lo min ha'adam, it says. Beautiful to him from the fellow person. In other words, whatever I do on my own, when I'm locked up in my own room, I have to think, is it good for me, what I'm going to do the next 5 minutes only? What I'm going to do in the next 5 minutes, is it good for me only, or will it also benefit the world around me outside that I'm not in touch with now? And this is the Even HaBochen. If the conclusion is that it's only benefiting me, then it's not the right path. If it's only benefiting someone else and hurting me, it's not the right answer, not the right path. The only way it's the right path if it's benefiting both. The other might not get that, not yet. I might get to the other individual only in a day from now, in a month from now. But what I'm doing now is beneficial to society, tov l'shamayim v'tov l'briyot. Good for others and good for me. What I'm doing now is good for me and good for others. So when we take a break from our children, a mother who lets the baby cry and goes to sleep and disciplines the baby, or a mother who hires a babysitter to take care of the baby for a couple hours in order to be able to go take care of our own needs. Not shopping for the house, for the baby, but simply to learn myself. A little vacation. Take care of my own needs. Is that selfish? Depends. Good Jewish answer. If I'm doing it out of selfishness, then it's selfish. If I'm doing it out of care for my child, I need to regain my own strength. I need to exercise. I need to learn on my own in order to benefit my health, in order to benefit, in turn to benefit the health and the needs of my children. It's tov l'shamayim v'tov l'briyot. Then it's good for everyone. Then it's beautiful. Then it's tiferes. That's the middle line. So let me bring it to a different level, which was mentioned earlier. Kindness on the right, Avraham. Tefillah, prayer, Yitzchak on the left, Torah in the middle. So let's look at each one of them separately. And let's imagine the following. I'm just bringing a few examples in order to make sense of it. And again, if there are any comments by anyone, please comment, give me feedback. That way I'll know if I make sense. So a person who is filled with kindness, charitable, giving, chesed, volunteering, money, tzedakah, filled with kindness. That's one side. Other person is prayers. In other words, what can I do? In prayers, the I is very strong. I need, I thank you, I appreciate, bless me, my Father, give me. That's what prayers are about on the surface. The problem with either one of those is it's missing the middle ground, the middle line that holds it together. And what is it, Torah? If you pay attention to our prayers, to the Siddur, to the prayer book, most of the prayers are based on Torah, verses from the Torah. A lot of portions and full portions are from the Torah. It's based on Torah and so on and so forth. On the other hand, it's referring to myself, and it's about tzedakah, about giving to others, etc. Because without Torah, the charity is in danger and the prayers are in danger. Meaning, the charity could be, on hand, very much giving and destroying ourselves. Charity, when it's in its pure form of giving to others. And prayers is very selfish. Torah combines both of them. Torah guides both of them, brings order to both of them, inspires both of them. And I could elaborate on giving many examples in what that means. Let me read to you from the booklet 49 Steps to Personal Refinement according to the Jewish tradition, which is dealing with the 49 7 times 7 7 attributes, the counting of the Omer between Passover, Pesach, and Shavuot. And today we're in the third week, the week of Tiferet, the week of beauty. And today, in particular, it's the third day of the third week, which is Tiferet Shebetiferet, beauty of beauty, which is the birthday of the Rebbe Maharash of the fourth Lubavitch Rabbi, which I will elaborate on in a minute. So first, let me read to you from this book, and anyone doesn't have this book, I think we're out of it. We're sold out at Chabad House, but you could do a search online and you could follow it. It's an amazing workbook that I would encourage people to follow it when counting of the Omer and during the day, and actually applying the exercise will only do good and kindness to yourselves and to people around you. Week 3, Tiferet, Compassion, Harmony, Truth. Tiferet, compassion blends and harmonizes the free outpouring love of chesed, kindness, with the discipline of gevurah. Tiferet possesses this power by introducing a third dimension, the dimension of truth, which is neither love nor discipline, and therefore can integrate the two. Very interesting point. It means Tiferet is not a combination of both. Tiferet is a third dimension, a third attribute that is beyond the two, and that's why it could penetrate through the two and combine them. A higher force that could combine are two driving forces. Truth, listen to this, and memorize it. And let's memorize it and repeat it on daily basis or on hourly basis. Truth is accessed through selflessness. Impossible to get to truth if we are selfish. Rising above your ego and your predispositions, enabling you to realize a higher truth. Truth gives you a clear and objective picture of your and others' needs. And it continues. And Tiferet shebetiferet, on the beauty of beauty, the message of the day, it says, the expression of compassion and its intensity. True compassion is limitless. It is not an extension of your needs and defined by your limited perspective. Compassion for another is achieved by having a selfless attitude, rising above yourself and placing yourself in the other person's situation and experience. Wow. The Rebbe Maharash, the fourth Lubavitcher Rebbe, we have today two Shmuels on the class. And Shmuel Gottman, the class is dedicated to your mother of blessed memory. The Rebbe Maharash's name is Shmuel. So the Rebbe Maharash had a saying. Saying goes like this. The world says that you go straight if you come across an obstacle, try a way around it, and if there is no way, then you jump. The Rebbe Maharash says, and I say, lechatchila ariba, matchilim bikfitza. You don't try to go this way, and if it doesn't work, you go here, you go there, and then if it doesn't go, then you jump. The Rebbe Maharash says, I say, lechatchila ariba. You start by jumping. This is tiferet shebetiferet. This is beauty of beauty. We don't wait for the challenges and how to deal with them, because then either I will find a way or I will not find a way and I'll have to go another way and struggle through. Two opposite directions that will be facing me, that I'll be facing. It's trouble. The Rebbe Maharash says, start by jumping above. In other words, don't limit yourself to the present, to the current, to the limited situation you are in. Rise above. And if you rise above, then you'll have the Bria Hatichon, then you will have the middle pillar that will hold it together and that will make you strong and will make you able to overcome all the challenges, because they won't be there, because you're above that. And that's the power of Torah. There are teachings of Hasidut, and the Rebbe elaborates on it, about purifying the air in the home, where the Rebbe encourages the husband and wife to learn Torah on their own, together, even when the children are asleep, and even if no one watches, but to purify the air with the study of Torah. The way Jewish life dictates, if I'm allowed to use the word dictates, in today's free world, I think that God has shown us these days in the big free world how we're being dictated by the unexpected, totally. The Torah suggestion of how to run our day-to-day life is waking up in the morning, praying, learning Torah, and only afterwards to go on with our business, with our daily occupations. When one learns Torah, and I'm talking about learning Torah not related to my issues, not related to how I should deal with this and this issue, how I could get rid of sadness, how I could get rid of depression, how I could educate my children, how I could make a buck, how I could make a dollar. But learning Torah for the sake of learning Torah, even if it's totally unrelated to day-to-day life, just learning Torah Hashem, the power it carries in giving us the ability during the day, during our challenges, to deal with them and to overcome them and to be above them without even being in direct contact with them is beyond our imaginations. And if you don't believe me, try it. Take 20 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, start the day with learning Torah, anything. Take out a book, learn Chumash, take a Mishnah, take a Tanya, open up the web, Chabad.org, listen to a class, Jewish.tv. Take a walk and learn Torah. It's going to do wonders. This is the beauty. This is the Bria Chatichon. This is the Yaakov versus Avram and Yitzchak, where Yaakov succeeded with all the challenges that he had with his own brother and with his uncle and so on. He succeeded with bringing up the 12 tribes of Israel. Because Yaakov Ishtam Yoshev Ohalim, because Yaakov represents study of Torah. Why and how, we'll leave it for another time. That's the Lechatchile Aribel, above us. That's the Yud and the Hey in the Ish and the Isha. That's the God in our lives. Not dealing with our issues, not dealing with our shortcomings, with our challenges, with our successes, but learning Torah for the sake of learning Torah will put us on a total different level. The Rabbi replied once to an individual who has written to the Rabbi with a dilemma that is in a depression. He's depressed. The Rabbi answered him, and this wasn't a person who was religious, wasn't the person who was knowledgeable in Torah, wasn't a rabbi. The Rabbi tells him, start teaching Torah to others. taking a step above the here and the now. Yes, the Hebrews were not the first people who were offered the Torah. Yes, that's true. But we got it, so we're happy. Baruch Hashem. Yes, and Rosie, you're right. Studying Torah is very important. It's studying Torah, but I'm saying studying Torah in a way of lechatchila riba. Again, I could study Torah to serve me. I could pray to serve myself. I could give charity to serve myself because I'm a kind person. I can't see suffering of others. I'm a giving person by nature. I could be a selfless person by nature. It's still selfish. Torah is a step above. Torah is beyond everything and penetrates through everything. Now, let me conclude with the following thought. The world of love and giving and kindness and openness and is not the world we're in today in this context because we're all locked up. We are locked up in our homes, and right now we have to be selfish. So let's compare it for a minute, if I can, that kindness, openness, love, reaching out is the world we had 2 months ago. And right now we're in a world that is closed. We're in jail. We're home. Can't go anywhere. We're locked up. Isolation. So let me share with you. I have some experience with jail. I was in jail many times. And here is a experience and statistics of what is happening in the world of jails. A lot of the people, of the prisoners, a big percentage who are heading out of jail are back in jail a few days later. Why? Because it's two different worlds. There's the free world and there is the world where we're locked up. So what happened is when they were locked up, they behaved. They did the sentence very good, but they didn't get the tools of how to behave when they will be in the world out there. And what is happening in jail, the ones who are successful are the ones who are taking the jail time seriously and dealing with how will I do, what will I do when I will get out of here, when I'll be free. In Israel, the most successful prisoners who are getting out of jail and don't go back are the ones who are getting involved during the jail time while serving the sentence with Torah and are doing tshuva, are returning to God. A fact. Nothing is 100%, but more successful. Why? Because It's dealing with something that is above the here and the now. We could get used to now this lifestyle of being home. It's very dangerous. It's a very dangerous state to be in. Last week I was told, and everyone knows that, there is going to be disasters in family life, in relationships, in life, teenagers, and so on and so forth, with what is happening here, with being confined in jail. But and then there is another danger. We might get accustomed to it, as my wife said yesterday. Will people want to come back to shul and to classes? And my reaction was, and her reaction was, it could go both ways. On the one hand, it could be, I'm comfortable where I am. I don't need anyone. On the other hand, we might be bored and go mishuge that will run to shul and there won't be room to sit in the shul. Amen. But it's a time now where we need to rise above the here and the now. When we are running out, when things are open, when we are in a mode of giving, when we are in a mode of love and kindness, we need to do it out of truth, not because that's the fashion and because we're driven to it, but because the Torah tells us to do so. When we are now home and we are confined, and it's very limited what we can do, and we need to think about ourselves, we need to prepare ourselves and be there. Everything we do is in how to make the world better once we're ready for it. And we are ready now, and we should be ready now, because it's going to change very quick. Amen. And for the better. And this is the midata emet that will make it happen. And I will not repeat the whole story, but I will remind you the beautiful story talking about midata emet of the Mendel Futterfass, one of the older Hasidim. I shared the story about a month ago before Pesach, who is the great-grandfather of our own Rabbi Groner, that when he was in jail for the sin of being a religious Jew and being involved with the underground yeshivas and shuls and so on in communist Russia, and he was normal, and professors and scientists and doctors around him asked him, what is this? He said, I have one goal. My profession did not change. My goal and my profession is to serve God, under whichever circumstance. Today's circumstance, I serve God. Under this circumstance, I'm happy. Ashreinu matov chalkeinu. I am lucky. How beautiful. Isn't that tiferet shebetiferet? Beauty of beauty. Being able to keep our heads above the water, above the here and now, guiding our chesed, guiding our gevurah with the light of Torah, with the truth. Many people kill with the attribute of kindness, giving charity to murderers. We're not allowed. Many people hold back when it's time to give, when we think it's not the time to give. Not allowed. Torah or the Torah of light, the rising above the here and now, is the only way of tiferes shebetiferes, of beauty in beauty, to guide us accordingly. Once again, the class today is dedicated, thank you very much, by Sam and Linda Gutman in honor and memory of Sam's mothers on the yahrzeit of today, Esther Bat Eliezer. She should rest in peace. And keep tuned, as there will be further messages this week of the Rabbi's approach and care and guidance and encouragement to our soldiers in our Holy Land, Chayalei Tzahal, and our Holy Land as a whole. Keep tuned. By Tuesday, Wednesday, we will share links and messages from the Rebbe on this very important topic and happenings of this week and throughout the year. Thank you very much, and have a very good week. And any comments, anytime, are always welcome and appreciated. Shavua Tov, good week, beauty of beauty, tiferet shebetiferet. L'chaim. Good day, everyone.